Welcome everyone to another APH webinar for fun in the summertime with APH Physical Education, Recreation, and Health. While everybody
Thanks, Leanne. And hello, everyone. I am Jim Sullivan. I am Director of Social Enterprises with APH, and I'm glad to be here with you today. You all around the globe are in for a great treat. Tristan Pierce is here with us from the great city of Louisville, Kentucky, and she's bringing a lot of great information about adaptive physical education, along with a passion for the subject. So I promise you all that this will be a treat. Not only a lot of fun, but also incredibly informative. So the title, Fun in the Summer with APH Physical Education, Recreation, and Health. As far as our agenda goes, we're going to do some introductions, talk about the learning objectives. Tristan will get into summer and the fun in the summer. Excuse me. We'll drop in a few poll questions throughout the next 60 minutes, and we'll finish up with questions. And we encourage you as we move through to drop questions that you have into the chat. Just a reminder that APH is open for business. The team is slowly beginning to return to the office. We are shipping things out, so if you are looking to order, you can do that. Solutions like the Hop-A-Dot mat, which are newer, Reach and Match, as well as the Ribbit balls are available for purchase. The sales@aph.org would be one way to communicate with us, as well as the 800-223-1839 number. And just a reminder again, the quota and non-quota funds can be used for some of these solutions. Also, Leanne is gearing up for the virtual Excel camp. If you'd like to know a little bit more about that, you can visit the At Home at APH part of the website. We are continuing with these webinars with the help of folks like Tristan, and Friday, the folks with HumanWare will be joining us to go into detail about the Mat Connect. Finally, as far as introductions go, I just want to remind you that the Connect Center is available as a resource to you all. Family, Career Connect, Vision Aware, those can all be reached through a phone number as well as the Connect Center at aph.org web address or email address that appears before you. So we'll be forwarding out this PowerPoint along with some notes that Tristan has so that you guys can access these. So again, during these times, do not forget about the resources that Career Connect provides too. I think you'll find them to be super helpful. With that, this is our presenter. Tristan Pierce, as I mentioned, is coming to us from Louisville. She is with APH, and she is our Multiple Disabilities and Physical Education Project Leader. Learning objectives. Throughout the next 60 minutes, we hope that you're going to come away with 5 ways to use APH equipment to teach motor skills and movement patterns. We hope that you're going to learn 2 free downloadable resources for health, nutrition, and play. And we hope that you're going to learn at least 2 fun ways to make adaptive equipment usable at home. Now, before we send it over to Tristan, and I'm going to stop sharing, I think we're going to throw a poll question your way. Is that correct, Leanne?
That is correct. So I have a poll. We want to know, in your opinion, what is the purpose of play? If you can't access the poll, you can write yours in the chat. Here's your choices. Play is to prepare ourselves, build resilience, and build skills. Play is to relieve stress and form bonds. Play is just about self-exploration and fun. Or play is purposeless. Let's see what all of you think the purpose of play is. So I'll give you a few more minutes to put your selection. Again, you're welcome to put it in the chat if you cannot access the polls. But what do you believe the purpose of play is? I'm still seeing numbers come in. Give you one more minute. Okay, I'm going to end the poll. Let's see what everyone said. 67% said play is to prepare ourselves, build resilience, and build skills. 16% to relieve stress and form bonds. 17% about self-exploration and fun. And just a few of you believe play is just purposeless. So, Tristan, take it away.
Okay, let's see if I can do this.
You can do it. We know you can.
I gotta get rid of you. And share screen. Okay, I'm trying to find it. There it is. And then we're gonna
Some people
go.
are saying they liked all of the play options. Boy, they didn't want to pick one.
Okay, is it working now?
You are great. Good to go.
Okay, excellent. Okay, hello everybody and welcome to Fun in the Summertime. Okay, I am so glad that Leanne put that question up because that is my opening slide. What is the purpose of play? And I got this from a Dr. Quaim. I'm not sure that's how you pronounce his name, but I'm just going to call him Dr. Brown, okay? He's a psychology professor, developmental neuroscientist, a spoken word poet, and a graphic designer. So a well-rounded individual, I do believe. And we have a photo up here of two young guys. Looks like they're building a house using the Reach and Match kit. Okay, looks like they're having fun. So Dr. Brown kind of documented what people say about play. Kids play because, and the purpose of play is to prepare ourselves. And like we said, most of you seem to agree with that one. Then kind of much as this is listed at pretty much at how you voted. Humans and animals play to relieve stress and form bonds. Play is just about self-exploration and fun, or play is purposeless. Well, Dr. Brown kind of looked over this, and it seems to be a bit more complicated than a single sentence answer. And I kind of believe that some of you were writing in the chat to Leanne that, you know, you kind of felt like they all could answer the question at one time or another. So Dr. Brown just gives us an example here of throwing a ball. And there are a lot of reasons why a child may play with a ball. And that's going to depend on where he or she is at in their developmental continuum and the context. So I think all of us know that a child plays with a ball to learn more about the ball. So that could be a younger child, I am assuming. Or maybe that child admires a friend's skill with the ball and wants to match it. I think we've all done that in our life growing up, and probably even in our adulthood today. And then sometimes we just want to join a group that likes playing ball. Like, oh, maybe I'm not really a big ball fan, but really you want to have a good group of friends to hang out with. So you learn to play ball, and most likely you'll end up learning to like that ball game. And then now here's one for someone, I put sensory motor next to this one, someone who's really young, simply because this child likes the texture of the ball, okay? And they will probably outgrow that, and we hope, again, learn to play with the ball and enjoy it. And it could also be because the last time that child played with the ball, he got an attentive smile, and that could be from a teacher or a peer, or someone else that maybe he admired, and he got that attentive smile, and that made him feel good. And that's a reason to continue playing again. Playing is just so educational and fun. So creative adaptations, they alter physical education activities so they meet the unique needs for the child with visual impairments while providing healthy exercise for all the participants. And that's really, really what we want to get at. And it is an educational requirement that children learn motor skills and movement patterns. This is standard 1. You can find that through Shape America and the scope and sequence for K through 12 physical education. Okay, to start off, all the products that I'm going to be showing you today, I believe every single one of them is available on quota. I just want to say that out front. And that no matter what product you're using, a number one thing to keep in mind when teaching is that always start with verbal instruction. You can demonstrate the activity and give clear, concise verbal instruction. If that does not work for your particular learner, then proceed with tactile modeling. Our second photo here, and I'm showing you an example of our tennis kit. And on the second example here, the teacher is demonstrating how to strike using the tennis racket, and the student is feeling her arm movement and the racket. So the teacher is tactile modeling that skill because perhaps the student could not understand it after the verbal instruction. And then finally, as your last resort, is physical guidance. Only use your physical guidance if the verbal instruction and the tactile modeling is not working. And even when you're using tactile modeling and physical guidance, always continue your verbal instruction, okay? So here, the teacher and the student are both holding the tennis racket, and they are doing the strike movement together. So those are our 3 key instructional strategies right there: verbal instruction, tactile modeling, and physical guidance, used in that sequential order. So here's our first product we're going to show you. That's the ribbit ball, and I have to tell you, I just love the ribbit ball so much. It's lightweight and easy to grasp for those toddlers and early elementary level learners, particularly those kids if they have cerebral palsy, trouble to grasp, can't lift things. This ball is so lightweight, okay? And when you grasp those ribs on the ball, they make a crunchy sound, so it has an auditory factor, okay? This ball also, what I like about it is when it was made exclusively for APH, you can purchase a ribbit ball online through Playability Toys. It is called originally Jacob's Ribbit Ball. And Jacob's Ribbit Ball originally had red ribs, and the panels are alternating white, black, white, black. So it is a 3-color ball. And it comes, the interior, with a latex bladder. Well, APH does not sell products with latex because many of the students with multiple disabilities are too medically fragile and have a lot of allergies. So we just make it a company policy to not use latex in our products. So custom or bespoke these balls for APH exclusively, which is why they are available to you on quota. So the latex bladder was done away with for us, and we have a PVC bladder inside all of our balls. All of our balls are only 2-color to accommodate those students with cortical visual impairment who need less visual complexity. So the 14-inch ball is the one shown in our photograph, which is red and yellow. The 18-inch ball is blue and yellow, and the 30-inch ball, I believe Jim showed it on one of his earlier slides, is the big black ball with the yellow ribs. It comes with a pump. I can't expect you to blow up that 30-inch ball. But with this ribbit ball, you can learn, those young kids can learn very, very early underhand roll skills and kicking skills. And like I note here, you know, these kids in the photo, you know, their kicks aren't perfect, but just let them explore, interact, and have fun together. And I think those kids obviously look like they're having a lot of fun. Okay, next I'm going to show you some reach and match. Now, I didn't put a photograph of the actual reach and match here because I put it in my opening slide with the 2 boys showing, because I really wanted to show this chart that comes in the guidebook that demonstrates all the different, not just physical activities, but all the different educational properties that this product can teach. We've got braille and print learning, cognitive skills, sensory integration, body concepts, language enrichment, and orientation and motor skills. This product comes with these tiles that are both print and braille, and those tiles are both audio and tactile. This product was totally developed to be all-inclusive, so you can have a lot of fun playing with it by yourself, or you can do group activities. This product was created by Mandy Lau. She is a young woman in Australia, and this was part of her graduate thesis that she worked on, and she has won so many worldwide awards for her design on this product. So there are so many skills besides the one listed in this chart here, but for our purpose with play, you can learn hop, leap, run, and horizontal jump using the reach and match. And our little illustration here has the teacher calling out green, and all the kids are leaping to the green mat, except this one little boy apparently is still learning his colors because he's leaped to the yellow mat where the other two kids have leaped to the green mat. But reach and match, those tiles, if you haven't seen them, like I said, each tile, there's four different shapes. Yeah, so there's 4 colors. You have the red circle tiles, you have the green square tiles, you have the blue triangle tiles, and you have the yellow pentagon tiles. And they have the alphabet on them in print and braille. And one side of the tile has a texture to match the texture on each mat. And when you flip the mats over, you have a path on the inside that you can place the tiles in. And I do have a photo on the very last slide of this presentation showing you that. So you'll have to stick around to see that one. Okay, the Hop-A-Dot. This is a very new product that's out right now. You can practice your Braille while participating in fun and physically challenging activities. And our 2 photos here show one boy creating a Braille letter with his 2 feet and his hands. And then we have another photo that shows 2 kids, they're playing a game, okay, and they've got their feet on different Braille dots, I guess. Yeah, I guess that each mat is a cell, so their feet are each on dots. Okay, so this is also an all-inclusive product, which means sighted kids and children with visual impairment both have fun playing it together. It includes 2 spinners. It has an alphabet spinner and a number spinner. So a variety of games in the guidebook, and the locomotor skills with it are going to be hop and run. Now then, APH sound balls, and I stuck underneath their other balls because there are so many balls out there. I do not know of a sighted child who didn't grow up having more than 1 ball, so I believe kids with visual impairment should have as many balls as they want. So just giving a kid an APH sound ball is not enough. You've got to give them as many balls as they can handle. So object skills that we're showing right here is dribble. Our little girl here in the wheelchair, she's actually dribbling a standard women's regulation basketball, okay? And then our other 2 photos over here on the side, we're working with catching skills. So our first photo shows the little boy rolling a ball, the APH sound ball, across a tabletop. And the little girl on the other end is just learning her catching skills. So she now has her hands extended and her palms wide open, her fingers extended as well. And as that ball rolls into her hands, she is learning to catch it in a controlled environment because that ball, the table, is controlling how that ball is coming to her. So that's her beginning of learning how to catch, okay? And I apologize for any of the blurriness in the photos, but it is very hard to take a photograph of a moving ball or moving hands. I took the majority of all these photos at different sports camps. So, so down below that, we have our same little boy and girl. He's older than her, and he's already got some catching and throwing skills. So he is now throwing the ball to her. And again, she has her arms extended, her fingers extended, and I clicked that photo right before her hands are closing around the ball. But you can see that ball is coming right into her chest area, and she is ready to just grab it right there. So again, object control skills, dribbling, catch, and underhand roll. Next, we're going to go to the 30 tennis kit, and that includes 2 rackets, an adapted tennis ball, 2 eye shades, your print guidebook, and your Braille guidebook. And with the tennis kit, you will learn the object control skills of strike and overhand throw. Now, you may be wondering, why do you have overhand throw in tennis? Well, again, every kid should have as many balls as they want because you can learn so many things with a ball. So my photographs here, because I used the tennis kit to show you the instructional strategies of verbal instruction, tactile modeling, and physical guidance, I decided to show you some other things you can do with APH's sound adapted tennis ball here. So our little boy here is learning overhand throw. So his teacher has put a tactile tape on a wall and an arc, and he is following that arc with a very high reach. And it's a little exaggerated, but that's good because it's teaching him how much he needs to stretch out and go, so that when he is no longer on that wall, he is going to extend his arm and throw before he begins his follow through on the throw. So our other two photographs are showing our little girl who was learning to catch previously, and now she's learning how to strike. So again, we're using that tabletop again. She has the tennis ball on the tabletop, and at first she's just using her own arm and hand as a racket. And she is learning to swipe her arm across that tabletop and to strike that ball off the table. She is aiming to hit that balloon that's extended off the table. Now below, and there was another step between here, but in the below photo here, we now have her holding a plastic bowling pin, and she is using it as her bat, and she has learned to strike that ball now off the table. And you can't see it very well because, again, it is blurry, but right at the bottom of that blurry balloon, you can kind of see the yellow ball. It's almost touching the balloon, okay? And that is the ball that's flying off the table there. But the next photo I do have is actually her holding a bat and striking with a tee. So that again is a progression on learning how to strike with a ball. And striking is used both with a tennis racket and with a bat. Okay, this was our signature product we created for physical education, the Walk Run for Fitness kit. It includes 2 talking pedometers, a guide wire that is 20 meters long, and it comes with its own little caddy to wrap the rope up in. It has 2 eye screws, a looped rope with a carabiner, a tether, and the guidebook, both in Braille and print. And our locomotor skills that you can learn with this kit is galloping, running, sliding, and skipping. So our photo here shows the little girl obviously running using the guide wire with a carabiner wrapped on it, and she's holding on to the looped rope, and she is running towards her teacher's clapping hands. Okay, now this is set up in a gym, which is easy to do. I believe when we set this one up, we had the guide wire attached to 2 volleyball stanchions. But you can also do this outside, and that's why, if you're wondering why are there 2 eye screws in the kit, it's to pick 2 trees, whether in your backyard or if you go to a park. We really ask that you first contact your city officials at the park or wherever that you're going to return to on a weekly basis, maybe to practice your running, and ask them permission, maybe ask them to come meet you there and select 2 trees. Because screwing an eye screw into a tree and leaving it there is really not going to damage the tree, and it will always be there then when you come back and you can reattach a rope to it. We asked, whether it's in your backyard or in a park or anything, don't tie your guide wire around the tree, because tying a rope around a tree will damage the bark, and then damaging the bark can lead to disease and infestation of that tree. So we just really ask that you never tie a rope around a tree, but the eye screws will work really well for you. So our other 2 photos, and I don't know if you see this or not, Leanne, because you, Jim, and I are on the corner of my screen. Do people not see those last photos?
Nope, they can see just fine. We're fine. Just
fine. Okay, because I don't see them. Okay. So our top photo shows the teacher in a close-up of the little girl examining the APH carabiner and the guide wire, and she is, giving verbal instruction and everything prior to her running across the room. Our bottom photo shows a little girl using the guide wire, but in a different way. Her and her teacher are practicing the locomotor movement of sliding. So she is sliding, you know, left slide, or right slide, either which way. So the guide wire is just not for running or walking. You can also do skipping and likewise galloping with it. So now our jump rope to fitness, okay, includes 3 beaded ropes, an adjustable cord rope, and you can kind of see the adjustable cord rope sitting on the floor behind the girl jumping there in the photo. We have the jump snap cordless rope, and that is what she is holding in her hands. It comes with the orientation mat, which is also an anti-shock mat, and then the guidebook again, braille and print, and this is our locomotor skill of hop. Okay, I think the 2 key elements of this kit is the fact that it has that orientation mat and the way it's designed, and the ropeless jump rope there. Everybody, even sighted people, we migrate when we jump. We may not realize it, but we all migrate when we jump. And if you are jumping on that mat, you can tell when you've migrated and all of a sudden one foot is on the concrete or the floor and the other foot is on the mat, you know you've migrated. So you know in your next couple hops you need to kind of like hop back in the opposite direction. That mat also has a beveled edge. That yellow trim bevels all the way down to the floor. If you had a hard 90-degree edge on your mat, that's going to snag on your rope. And if you're using one of the beaded ropes or the adjustable cord rope, that's going to snag your rope, and through no fault of your own jumping skills, you're gonna miss up. So I really like this orientation mat. Now, the jump snap is the cordless rope that we use, and the reason APH uses that one is it is the only one on the market that not only does it count your calories, the number of time you jumped, or your distance, it also tells you how many, it tells you, it's audio. That's what, you just press the button and it talks to you. It has a button on there that says talk. You press the talk button and it tells you how many times you've jumped, or how many minutes you've jumped, how many calories you've burned. So there are other cordless ropes on the market, and they have now even created a few that have the digital display as well, that will tell you how long you've jumped and how many times you've jumped and how many calories you've burned. But this is the only one that has the audio feature to it. And I am sorry to say that the manufacturer of the Jump Snap has decided to no longer manufacture it. APH bought up all they had in stock, so we will continue to sell these as long as we can, and then we will need to find an alternative. And like I said, there are others on the market, but this here is probably your last opportunity to get one that does have the audio feature. I did call him up and beg him not to go out of business, but he said he just needed to. So his children were all grown and he didn't need to pursue it any longer. So, okay, our portable sound source, the Sport Edition, and you're asking, why is it called the Sport Edition? Well, APH had a previous portable sound source that was a very heavy metal box, very sturdy. You could whack it and it was just fine and dandy. But it was very heavy, expensive to manufacture, and a lot of activities. Kids sometimes need to be able to carry around the portable sound source, and it was very heavy with the handle for younger children to carry around. So this one is lightweight, very durable. It's made out of the same plastic that power tools are made out of, and APH has very extensive dropping testing on a lot of our products, and so this one has passed all those dropping tests. Another great feature of this one is that it does have the variable rate, tone, and speed, just like the original portable sound source had, but this one comes with a remote control. So you could mount this up on a basketball rim, and you can turn it on and off at the end of each class with your remote control. Now the remotes and the device in the sound source. They have a factory default that they all come with the same default. But the guidebook tells you, if you want, how you can change it. Just like you buy those portable doorbells, and you can change the frequency for it. You can do that with this as well. So if you did, let's say, have 3 portable sound sources, each with their own remote, you could program each one for a different frequency. So you could have first base, second base, third base, or whatever. If you're playing another type of game, if you're doing soccer with goals, you could have 2 different ones on 2 different frequencies, so that you've got 2 different sounds going in the different directions. And then it also comes with a sound localization guidebook. And this guidebook has sequential step-by-step instructions on how to teach sound localization skills, you know, starting off maybe with the student stationary and the sound source stationary, and then possibly the student stationary, but the source is moving, or then have both moving, or the student moving, the sound source, you know, is stationary. So it comes with a variety of sequential activities to really teach sound localization skills. So once they've learned those skills, they can participate in a lot of games. Our photos here are showing a portable sound source under cornhole. And the other one is showing the strap. It comes with a strap. And the reason it comes with this strap is not only that you can hook it up to different things, like I said, you know, like attach it to a goal or something. But I had some feedback from teachers who said they often wanted to take their kids hiking, and it was hard for them to always follow the teacher. So she straps it on like a belt and turns it on, and she hikes with it on her lower back. And the kids can then follow that sound more easily.
Hey, Tristan, we have a couple questions.
Uh-huh.
The jump rope kit, can that jump rope be used with adults or people who are tall?
So the jump snap, the ropeless jump
Yes.
rope? Oh yes, because it's ropeless. Yeah, it's you just move the hands, and it has a little cord that's about 6 inches long on the end of each handle with a little ball, and the jump snap, you can turn it off to make it silent, or you can it'll make a sound. So every time your hands move, it goes shoop shoop shoop. If that helps you keep your rhythm, some people find that sound helps them keep a cadence to help keep them jumping correctly. Some people find the sound annoying, so you can silence it. But so yeah, the little balls just turn in the air, so you're never actually jumping over a rope. You're jumping in place, but your arms are moving, getting the arm work out. And it's really great. So you know, the Heart Association and a lot of the schools participate in Jump Rope for Heart every February, because that's Heart Month. So a lot of kids are tracking how long they're jumping or how many jumps they do. I'm not quite sure how they do it. But this way, kids who are perhaps in a wheelchair can participate in Jump Rope for Heart. Kids with CP who may have balance issues and can't really take both feet off the ground, you know, or maybe they want to step, you know, take stepping in place while doing their jump roping, you know. So it also offers a lot of alternatives for those kids with limited motor skills in the lower part of the body. So, yeah.
Okay. Do you know what kind of sound source in the auditory balls are in there? And then are they heavy? Are they hard? Do they bounce?
Are you talking the APH sound balls?
Correct.
Okay, the APH sound balls, it is an electronic device that's programmed in there. The yellow ball, we have 2 colors. The yellow ball goes boing, boing, boing. It's like a 2-tone. Both of the balls have a 2-tone sound. And we did that because testing showed that people who have a hearing impairment, they hear lower tones better than higher tones. And most of the beeping balls on the market have a very high pitch constant beep 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 beep, you know, and kind of similar to maybe some alarm sounds. And we just kind of felt like kids need to know the difference, that this sound is an alarm sound, meaning danger, or you need to get out of the building or something like that. And we wanted the sound out of our balls to be very distinct, that this meant playtime. And we have the 2-tone sound to accommodate people who may be wearing hearing aids or have just a hearing impairment and they hear the lower tone better. So the yellow ball goes boing, boing, boing. I kind of think it sounds like Tigger on Winnie the Pooh. And then the red ball has more, we call it the techno beat ball. It's a two-tone sound. It's kind of more like synthesized techno dance type music. So
And the sounds are constant, correct?
they are constant. Yes, they are electronic balls. Yes, you recharge them overnight. Yes.
Okay. And so they do bounce. Are they very heavy?
They're dense. They're not like, I don't think they're like heavy to hold, but they're very dense in order to protect the electronics on the inside. I am hoping one day that we get foam that can protect them better and can be more lightweight, because I do find them to be pretty dense. And I don't know why, but to me personally, I feel like the red ball is denser than the yellow ball. And, you know, they're the exact same foam. They just have two different colors of dye in them. But to me, the yellow ball has always been a little softer than the red ball.
So I have a question now for everyone out there. I want to know, we've mentioned quite a few products right now. And so I'm wondering, you can choose multiple. What products do you or your students love to use? So I've put the ones up called Ribbit Ball, Reach and Match, Sound Balls, the 30 Tennis Love, the Walk Run Fitness, and the Jump Rope to Fitness. You can select more than one, but what ones do you or your students love to use? We did have one person say that the balls bounce a little, but definitely not like a basketball.
No, the density is, yeah, the electronics in there, yeah.
One person was asking, what is the item used in hiking? And I think you were talking about the portable sound source to help find the person who is guiding.
Yeah, and yeah. So the photo that's still up on the screen right now with the portable sound source on the safety cone, just imagine that safety cone is a person and they're wearing it around their waist, and the portable sound source is at their lower back.
Okay, let's see what people said. What are you or your students enjoying using? So we had 58% saying they're enjoying the Ribbit Ball, 12 the Reach and Match, 67% those sound balls. I think I've been using them forever. 3D Tennis or 30 Tennis Love, 12. And Walk Run Fitness 24 and Jump Rope to Fitness 23. Thank you so much. Oops, I forgot to hit share. See here, I'm reading them and not showing you at the same time. Nice job, thank you. The portable sound source is available on quota just as the products that she mentioned are.
Yes. Yeah.
And someone is saying that they like the foam rattle ball from the tennis kit. That is a definitely different ball. It's the size of a tennis ball. And what type of sound does it make, Tristan?
It has a rattle. Can people hear that?
Put it a little closer to your microphone. There you go. It's kind of sounding like rattling beads inside a ball.
Did they hear that? Could you hear it?
Yeah. Nope.
Okay. Oh.
That's okay. There. Oh, that do it one more time. Isn't that funny? It's not showing up really well, but
it's not okay.
Yeah, no, that's okay. It really has more of a sounds like beads in a ball type of thing.
Well, you know, I played around because I know that cordless jump rope is going to be going away. So I play around with things. So I actually have, I did not include this one in the presentation. This is our Tangle sound adapted Tangle ball. Because
yeah, if you stop sharing your screen and share that, they'll see it bigger.
Yeah. Stop sharing my, okay, I can do this up here. Wait a minute.
You can do it.
Stop share.
There you go. Now your picture will be real big and talk.
Is it on there? I don't see me on there, but okay.
You're good.
There I go. Okay. So yeah, so I took our APH Tangle ball and I just hooked it onto a cord right here, and I was going to see if I couldn't just hold on to it and use it like a cordless jump rope, you know. I first tried it with just the ping pong ball that's inside this ball, and this is the same ball that's inside the tennis ball. Okay, it's a sound adapted table tennis ball. So I tried that one, but it was too lightweight. And so then I just put the tangle ball on thinking it would give me some more weight and I could just do this, a jump rope. But the problem is that it does not have an auditory feature to it, because these balls, when you're jumping rope, the centrifugal force gets so strong that the balls just hug the side of the inside of the ball, so you get no sound. See?
No sound when you spin.
Yeah, so it doesn't quite work. But I'll keep experimenting and playing. That's what I do. Do
you have the sound source with you today?
The portable sound source?
Yes.
It's here in my office.
We have someone that can hear the sound, and maybe we'll do that at the end.
Okay, yeah. Okay, now I see me, and I have to figure out how to.
I will stop.
Share screen again.
There you go.
No, I think I'm doing it. No, did I do it right? Share. Yay. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Now then, typically you would not consider the Tangle Toy to be a physical education product, but absolutely one of my favorite things to do with the Tangle Toy is the Tangle Toy Relay. And one year I actually suggested that APH at annual meeting have all the EOTs divide up into teams and to do this blindfolded, but they shot me down on that. I still think it's a great idea, but oh well. So here, our photos show a group of kids. This is down in the southern part of Kentucky, close to the Tennessee border, close to Bowling Green, Kentucky, at the Center for Courageous Kids. And we had a weekend program down there. The Kentucky School for the Blind did their outreach program down there. And we had the kids playing so many games that day. It was great. They were there for the whole weekend, and this is a group of young ones playing the Tangle Toy Relay. So they divided up onto teams, and the idea was, let's say one team is the blue alligator, yellow bump team, and then the other team is the red spiral, white tire tread texture team. So the idea is all the segments to the Tangle Toy are put into a basket at the end of the room. And you can see we have the portable sound source sitting right next to that basket. And the idea is one by one, each kid has to run to the basket. And it looks to me like this little boy right there, I think his team looks like maybe they're black and white, so smooth and tire tread. And he has to find the next segment for his team's Tangle Toy. He grabs that segment, he runs back to his team. They have to put it together, and they're learning sequencing. So they cannot snap two black segments together. They have to snap black, white, or smooth tire tread, smooth tire tread. And then the other team would have to do the same thing, but they would be doing theirs with, say, blue alligator to yellow bump. So this is just a great Tangle Toy relay. They're getting physical activity, they're learning sequencing, they're having fun, team building, everything else. So you can also do that with the reach and match kit I showed you earlier because of the tiles. You could have 4 teams, the yellow, red, green, and blue, or the team that's the squares, the triangles, the pentagons, or the circles. And likewise, they have to go down to the basket, pick out their tiles, come back and insert them into the correct alphabetical location on the mats of the reach and match, okay? And then Hop-a-Dot, 2 teams there, because the kit comes, well, if you have more than one kit, I guess you could have more. But your typical kit, you're going to have the blue team and the red team, I guess, and then same thing, building your braille cells. And your locomotor skill there, of course, is going to be running. But you can play relay with just about anything. I'm going to show you a little later on another way of doing the relay. Okay, I'm going to have to share my screen again. This is one of my favorite things. I like to collect figures because I've always kind of felt like, with tactile modeling, it can be a little uncomfortable. Some students just do not want to be touched or touch someone else. Sometimes it may be deemed inappropriate depending on what you're trying to demonstrate. And always too, if you are going to use tactile modeling or physical guidance, particularly, you know, always ask permission with the child first. So here I collect different types of dolls that can really be shown in different ways of doing physical activities. And here in my photo across the front there, I have series 1 of the Yoga Joes. These are little army guys in their army suits with their little army hats on. I don't know why they did them as Yoga Joe, but they do. At one time they sold them in pink as well, but I've not seen those recently on the internet. Okay, now let me tell you right up front, this photograph I'm showing you, these are not APH products, okay? These are commercial products, as it says up at the top there. But we also have the Noodle Man. He's the wire guy. He might be a little hard to see in there. He's our wire guy. Oh, I got my mouse. I always forget I can use, here's the Noodle Man, okay? Then we have the human mannequin. That's what these wooden models are. These are probably that most people are familiar with, inexpensive. I think the small one here is like $10 online, okay? And this here in the middle here is the Sticky Bones figure, okay? He is standing independently magnetically on his feet on this magnetic plate. And then these are the Art S. Buck artist models, both male and female. And then there's also another one I don't have shown here, the Body Coon models. They're almost identical to the Art S. Buck. There's a few slight variations, but almost identical, and they also sell both male and female. So I'm going to try to show you now some pros and cons of each of these. Okay, okay, I stopped sharing again.
I'll highlight you so you can see yourself better.
Okay. So, okay, does that work well? Can people see me okay?
Yep, we're fine.
Okay, so let's start with our little wooden figure right here, okay? Now this little wooden, like I said, he's inexpensive and he's great if you just, you know, want to teach someone the position for running. But as you can see, I'm having a hard time with this elbow here. And there are like some sort of rubber bands in here, and sometimes these rubber bands get so twisted up and stuff that you'll like put an arm one way and it'll just plop the other way. It'll just keep doing it. But my greatest issue with this is this guy. He's got some major arthritis in his hips. He just can't move his legs. You know, his legs do not articulate out. So there are so many skills that you're never ever going to be able to show with one of these guys. And with yoga, he can't bend over. Look at this, he cannot bend over. So I know yoga is a big thing that a lot of people like to teach. I'm afraid our little wooden mannequin here is just not going to cut it, okay? Now there is a whole series you saw of the little Yoga Joes. Here I have a little downward dog, and here I have a tree pose. You see, our little wooden guy could not do that. And these are quick, they're inexpensive. If you are just concentrating on yoga, of course, you don't get the whole yoga set. You know, there's a million yoga poses. And they do have 2 series on this. And the second series I don't have, but I believe the second series, you get fewer Yoga Joes, but I think you might get 2 actual dogs doing downward dog, like they have models of dogs doing downward
So
dog.
we don't run out of time. Can you show us the best choice?
Okay. Oh, well, that's going to be tough.
You get to pick your top choice.
It's going to have to be, I'm going to say not the Sticky Bones.
Don't talk until you face us. There you go. You
Yeah.
got to face us to talk. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The Sticky Bones, he's just too expensive for us to consider. Okay. He's made for animation. Okay. It's probably going to be a toss-up between, I mean, here I can do downward dog and here I can do tree pose. These two figures, you can pretty much do anything with, okay? And so this is the Doodle Man, and this is the Art S. Buck, or if you see online, the Body Coon models, they're almost the same. I will just run down quick. The Sticky Bones is $145. The Art S Buck, this one here, is $35.50. And these prices may vary depending on what site you get them on. The Body Coon, which is almost identical to Art Buck, was $29.99. The wooden figures, like I said, you can get the small one for like $10. And then the Adam, the Doodle Man, he is $26.
And so we have lots of people asking about where they get them or how they get them. We'll put
I just Google those.
Out.
I will have them on, they're in the notes that they will send out to you. And if you just Google Adam the Noodles Man, it's going to come up. Yeah. You will see them all. Okay.
You've got about 7 more minutes.
Okay.
6 more minutes.
I put all the resources at the end. So why is that? I put all the resources at the end in case I did run out of time. People could just look the resources up online. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. Come on now. Why am I not? Come on.
You're sharing.
I'm sharing, but it's not advancing. Huh.
Noodle Man is what she was saying.
Oh, there we go.
For the Google.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're moving. Okay.
Okay.
And of course, you can always do the homegrown products. You can take popsicles, pipe cleaners, craft balls, whatever, and make your own
Noodle Man.
stick figures. Yeah, your own stick figures. Yeah. Okay. Homegrown products, again, things you have at your home. Yoga mats, hula hoops, hockey sticks things. These are for leaping, horizontal jumps, various items. You all have them at home, but you can use them to teach these skills. Homegrown products, create an obstacle course at home. Do it in your backyard, in your basement, wherever. This is just one that I actually stole from my oldest sister. She is now a retired elementary PE teacher, and I adapted it with, guide wires and sound sources and things like that. But this used to be a feature on the old PE website that we had. How am I doing on time here? Homegrown products. Make your own. For those toddlers who need more support than a running guide wire, make them a running guide bar. So over here on the left, I have a little boy. Get PVC from Home Depot or Lowe's, your big box store. Just get some PVC and make a running guide bar. I'm using a Tangle Toy hoop there. This was a product we were attempting to develop. It's been kind of permanently been put on hold right now. It had a little motivator switch on the end. The little kid would run to the end. He'd press the switch. It would have this little motivating randomized ditties that would motivate them to turn around and run to the other side and hit the other switch over and over and over. And over here, you can also just purchase a safety bar. You can purchase safety bars off the internet and just hook them onto a safety cone if your school has safety cones. Here we have a brother and sister, again, using a Tangle Toy loop to run on. But you can also use those swimming pool loops that you can buy in a swimming pool. They work great just as well. So both of these are purchase one right available with a safety bar, or just go to Home Depot and connect your PVC together. We just drilled holes in the end and looped a rope, and we have the rope, a little cord around the safety cone over there. Okay, another relay. This is the blog right now APH currently has on their website. It's the same thing. Make a relay race called the Sort Sock Relay. Get your socks from different sizes, different shapes, different textures on them, and you can just use whatever you have at home. I also thought a great idea is if you want to incorporate at home, you're there, you want to cook something, let's say make a dessert, have a relay race of all the items you have to use to cook, your spoons, your bowls, your Rice Krispies and marshmallows, if that's what you're going to make. And you can make relay races, and then after they collect all their items, they get to make the treats. Homegrown products. Okay, you got to get those knees high to learn skipping, the locomotor skill to skip. Okay, get those knees up high. So just make tambourines by taping 2 paper plates together and putting rice or beans inside. Okay, tape them strong only. Here, no product needed. Tactile modeling. Again, skip. I'm here with a girl and we're just side by side. So our shoulders and arms are touching, our hips are kind of touching. We start off walking slowly and then we increase our pace and then we eventually start skipping. And it did not take long for her to pick up on the rhythmic cadence that I was doing. And once she picked up on that rhythm cadence, she, as you can see, we're like leg and leg, you know, we're doing it right there. So again, no product needed for that. These are some publications. Okay, take note when you get your notes. This says sites.aph.org manuals. This is from our old website, but you can still get some free downloads off of this. The two that are in purple at the bottom, Going Places, community-based physical activities for students who have visual impairments, blindness, or deafblindness, is available as download. There were items from the gross motor development curriculum, and it also has its own video online you can watch. It's an amazing video. You need to watch that. The other three at the top are not available as free downloads, but I will tell you that the second one, Possibilities, Recreational Experiences of Individuals Who Are Deafblind, those are now all available as blogs. It was an electronic book on our old website, but now if you just type Possibilities on the APH website, one of the stories will pop up, and after you read it, you'll see an entire table of contents, and you can click any story you want to see.
And Tristan, I am gonna stop you because we are out of time.
Okay.
I did have one last question to ask everybody. I wanted to know what you are finding the greatest obstacles to your student or child in participating in physical education or play activities. Is it the lack of adapted equipment, the lack of body awareness in space, the lack of gross motor skills, or the lack of school, family, peer support?
As they're wrapping up, can I share my screen real quickly?
You go right ahead. Stop your share, Tristan.
We got it. Okay. So
Okay.
as you guys are responding to that poll question, just again, a quick update that Monday, May 18th, all new orders from APH are going to ship. If you happen to have an order on hold, please reach out to customer service to release that order. You can reach out at cs@aph.org or 800-223-1839. And then again, we are going to forward out the PowerPoints. Tristan has done a phenomenal job of pulling out all of the information. So we're going to get that out to you, as well as links to some of the products that we've talked about. And I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing so we can bring the train into the station.
Okay, you have lots of thank yous in there. And I'm going to say thank you both to Jim and Tristan for a lovely webinar. Can't wait to do it again.
Bye, everybody.